service and turn it over to Sister Rose. Let's give our heart amen as she comes.
The Lord is good. Better to us than we are to him. He loves us with everything within him. I think, well, where's Robert? Hey, Robert, come here, honey. Come here, Kareem. Where's that other Tamarine over there? Hey, Kareem, how are you? Wow. Come on, Robert. I see you. Love you. Hey, wait a minute, Kareem. Where's that tambourine? Oh, not you. Now, this is what I'm gonna do. I gave Kareem. I know you saw it, didn't you? He looked over there like, why is he getting one? I know, but I got you one. Oh, yeah. So here's what y'all going to do. You're going to be our tambourine players every time we come to church. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to sit your tambourine when you leave church. Don't take it with you. And put it on a seat where you want your seat to be. When you come in church, everybody that sees a tambourine, don't sit in your seat. That's right. All right, so that means you got to be here. Okay. All right, go on back down there. Yes. Yes. I love you. More than words can say. God is good. I can't do nothing but be happy. Yes, my heart goes out to the souls of men and women that God is thinking about tonight. I am so glad that I know him. I'm so glad that I can hear his voice. I'm so glad he makes good decisions. I want you to pray for, what's her name? I'm trying to think of her name. Jonathan and Courtney. We got a chance to call this evening. He kept her out of church today. But she said, Sister Rose, he took me to another church because the roads were bad. I said, you never have to worry about that. We'll come and get you. So I waited a while, took a nap, and I left him a message. And I said, Jonathan, you better call me back. You better call me back. He was beside himself. And I said, let me tell you why God sent you to this church. You're on your way to hell. But you don't have to go. He gives you a chance not to go. Why not do that? I said, you're not here by coincidence. Brenda Jackson didn't meet you at Loaf and Jug by coincidence. But God was looking out for you. I hear this noise in the background. What's the noise? It's a game play. I said, cut it off. Hold on, Sister Rose. I said, he's scared of me, boy. What do you want? I said, now I'm going to tell you something. You better get right with God, and the situation that's going on is between her and God. It ain't got nothing to do with you. So my relationship that I have with God is contingent upon how much I want. I want it all. But it was a good talk. By the time I got to the end, the phone cut off, and I thought I ain't going to call back. I'm going to let you drink that for a while, all day, all night. You're going to drink that. You can't get away from it. Truth is the most powerful thing in the world. It will be there when everybody's gone. It'll be there when everybody goes to sleep at night and you're still awake. Stop for a minute and say, God, you know what? I know what it feels like because I was there. Hoping that the kids don't go to sleep early and Charles either, because I did not want to hear the voice in my head. Knowing that I wasn't right, knowing that I was on my way to hell. Many nights I couldn't sleep because of that sound in my head. Wasn't a preacher, but I heard it again and again. Until I finally had to say, like the Apostle Paul, what do you want me to do? I'll do it, whatever it is. God is trying to prepare us for the kingdom. Too many people are putting it off for tomorrow. But tomorrow's not promised to us. We don't know if we'll be here or not. So make it count. Don't look the other direction and make up in your mind, well, I don't really know. You know, I thought I wanted to do this. You better do it for yourself, because you're not going to make it any other way. I am thankful that he's here. He's always here. This message the Lord gave me, and I was a bit surprised this morning about the backslidden message, because it so speaks to many issues and many people. It's not just the people who are not saved. It's to the people that say they saved. It's all of them. Let's think about it. The message tonight is talking about, I know I got it here in the Bible. I got to find my thing. It's talking about praying and watching. This is where the problem is that you say I pray, but you don't watch. Now, if your prayer is not efficient enough, you're not going to watch. You got to have a deep prayer that literally in your heart and mind, it makes you alert to everything the enemy is trying to do. The devil should never sneak up on anybody. You got to stop for a minute thinking, I'm looking at the time, how it's going by, and looking at people moving around the world as if they're going to be here forever. You're not going to be. I mean, before we can leave this pulpit tonight, we're looking at next Sunday. And it comes so fast. And I thought, how do you think you are going to have time to get right? It's a short journey. If you live to be 100, it's a short journey. And he's trying to prepare you. Take the word in stride and say, I'm going to apply this to my life. I'm not just going to hear it. I'm going to apply it to my life, because that's what you need to do. I mean, hearing it and going home and saying, yeah, it was a good message and that's true, that's not enough. You got to put that on. You got to wear it every day. Because if you don't, you're not going to make it. Because I'm not only going to have to pray, I got to watch the devil. We've been around long enough. We recognize him a long way off while you sitting there thinking, well, I'm feeling okay right now. Do you know the devil's getting ready to hang you? And the fact is, you don't even see it. That's the tragedy of it all. I don't see that. You better listen to somebody who's been here long enough. Listen what he says here. He took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Then saith he unto them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here and watch with me. And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. And he cometh unto the disciples and findeth them asleep, and saith unto Peter, what, could you not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. He went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done. He came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. And he left them and went away again and prayed the third time, saying the same words. Then cometh he to his disciples and said unto them, sleep on now. Take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. Behold, it is at hand that doth betray me. Listen to this. Jesus, at this point in time, is very heavy. He is feeling your sins and mine. And so, can you imagine your sins alone is heavy enough? But can you imagine Jesus having my sins, your sins, and the sins of the whole world lying upon him, and he is now facing the cross that he might die for you and for me. And so, he's feeling the load of this. He has taken on the natural flesh so that he could tell us what we should do and how we should do it. And so, now, he says to the disciples, I'm going here to pray. Watch with me. 1 hour they couldn't have. 1 hour they couldn't pray. You got to ask yourself, what kind of prayer life do you have? These spur-of-the-moment prayer meetings ain't going to get it. You're going to have time with God. You can't be one place somebody, well, you know, I prayed while I was moving. I prayed. No, there comes a time you got to stop everything and talk to God if you expect to have complete victory. So now he comes back, and where he find them? He find them sleep. Nobody, if it's prayer time, should be sleep. Nobody. Because you're not praying. He told Peter when he found him sleeping, he said, could you not stay awake for 1 hour? You better ask yourself, are you in that place you can only last for an hour? So he's saying, he's looking at the situation. He cometh up to the disciples and findeth them sleep. And he said this to Peter, watch and pray. Watch and pray. That means when I feel sleepy, what am I going to do? I'm going to stay awake. If I have to get up, wash my face, and walk through the house. I ain't going to sleep doing prayer. But you don't do that. I think it was Matt that we got a call about something at the house. It was just prayer time. It wasn't praying. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, one said, he sounds like he's asleep. I said, he sounds like he is. You're not going to make it. I said the other day when he came to my house, I was taking my bath. I told him, I said, go in there and tell him, prayer life is down. He said, I knew you was getting ready to come with that. Well, if you knew I was going to come with that, why didn't you prevent it? Why didn't you say, I've been praying? I can say I've been praying. Because if you haven't, you're not going to make it. I don't care who you are. One thing, this is a life's journey. We got to follow it for the whole time we live. And if I don't get into that spirit of prayer, the devil going to throw you for a loop because you can't see. You don't know where he's at. He's planning when you're sleeping at night. That's why when you get up to pray, you better pray. He's got something I want to do. He's got times he want to take you out. I look over this church all the time and think, wow, look at the people that's not going to make it. You know why? You can tell they're not praying. Men ought to always pray. Don't faint. If you don't pray, you faint. But if you pray, you're good to go. But you got to watch. Pay attention to where the devil, you got to learn who the devil is. Too many people don't know who he is. That's how he gets over on you. He's talking in your mind. You think you're thinking. Not happening. Not happening. Because he's right there all the time. This little nag in your mind. And you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. I was so glad to hear people's testimony and these young people saying, I didn't think it was really that cool. You can be cool with Jesus. It's a different kind of cool. But you can be cool. Yes. The devil got all this little stuff mixed up and he feeds it to your mind. It ain't cool to be in church, man. Yeah, it is. That's the coolest that you can have. See, but he don't want you to have that. He wants to tell you, nah, you don't want that. Yes, you do. For the one who died for you, who gave his life. Yes, you do. So he says, Peter, you better watch and pray. Now, look how Peter ends up messing up because he wasn't paying attention. He wasn't watching. Now, the Lord done told him, Satan wants to sift you as wheat. He wants to take you out. That's what it's about. But now, if you don't pray, that's why he said, Peter, watch and pray. He knew who he was. Peter didn't know who he was. So you got to stop for a moment and say, okay, am I watching? And then when people that's been saved a long time come to you and tell you, baby, that's the devil. Here's what they say. That's the devil. Yes, it's the devil. They don't even know it's him. How can you prepare to win if you don't recognize who your enemy is? How can you win? I got to recognize him not when he's right up in my face, but before he ever gets here, I start rebuking him and binding him. You are a liar. You keep taking me down the same road. I'm not going down there. I'm not going to do it. I want to be saved. If I tell you something, listen to it. Whatever comes from this pulpit is telling you, warning you, get it together. Pray, pray, pray. And watch. Watch the devil. I have never seen it fail that if I pray, that I am going to be alert to everything that's out here. But you're not going to do it because you don't know well. And when you think everything is just perfect in your life, it's in a mess. When you think I got it going on, you ain't got it going on. See, take a moment. Take a moment. I got to pay attention. The thing that is causing people a lot of failure is simply they don't watch. Prayer every now and then. And I just said, if you don't pray, the devil's going to get you. He's right up. He don't care how spiritual you are for the moment. He doesn't care. So if you don't care, that gives him everything he wants. You ain't paying attention. Well, that's not really the devil. I was just thinking. No, that was the devil. Feeding your mind with stuff, distracting you in your mind. The mind is the battleground to the soul. That's where the enemy comes in at. That's where he messes you up at. Start thinking crazy. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I thought so. I thought I want to be saved. I don't know about all that stuff. That's the devil. Watch and pray. If you have time for nothing else, you better have time to pray. Because prayer is going to help you to see the enemy. I watch him on a constant because I'm a pastor. There he is. Sometimes I'm in the pulpit thinking, there he is. The person's not even aware. Not even aware. I look around, I think, God, you got to get it together. I don't want to preach to people that at the end of the day, they're going to hell. What's the use? What a waste of time. You spend all this time, and they're going to be lost in the end. Because the devil's not letting go. He's going to fight you with everything in him. You got to take this thing serious. I told one, I said, tell Matt, he's not serious. He's not serious. This is not nothing to play with. This is real. I told them the other night when they were left, I thought, what are you laughing about? We're here talking about heaven and hell, people that's not ready, people that's messed up, and you got something to laugh about? It makes me think you don't believe there is a hell. That's what it looks like to me. You know how many people the devil have set up right in the church? He don't have to go outside. He can do it in the church. You better be glad you got a leader who can see him where he is. He's planning and plotting your life. Planning and plotting. The more on fire you get for God, the more he wants your soul. The more you shout and worship God and be happy, he got the gun just like this. He's just waiting. I'm going to shoot you. I don't like you. You got to be able to stand the shot. When he shoots you, you got to be able to bounce back. When he hits you really hard, and he does, you got to bounce back. I can't give it. I look at people all over this church, they're like this. You're not going to make it. You can't make it like that. Watch where the devil's seat is. He's got a place. And I mean, if God had to throw him out of heaven, how do you figure you're going? He's not letting nobody else come into heaven who's following the devil. No. I laid in my bed this afternoon. I was like, God, how many people are going to hear this gospel and still be lost? Can you imagine spending eternity in hell listening to these messages and knowing that you cannot get out? You can't get out. Hell is a place of eternal damnation, eternal punishment. It's not for the moment. Once you get there, you cannot plead your way out. That's why you got to be sure that whatever the devil's got planned, God's got a plan too. He wants you to listen to him. Follow what he tells you. He's out for your good, not your bad. I want to help you to get through. But if you don't focus, where's the devil? Where's he at? People sitting on the pew, looking saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled. And the devil could care less. He don't care about you. You better have some power. You better have some power to say, no, you don't even know he's talking to you because you don't watch. You should see the devil before he gets here. Not when he got the hammer knocking you out. No, I got to see him. Recognize, sometimes if you don't see him, you feeling, where is he at? He's around. I had you almost gone. I'm going to come back because I almost had you. And Sister Rose keeps opening her cotton picking mouth. I'm about sick of her. Well, he's no more sick of me than I am him. I could care less. So anybody that wants to go with God, that loves God, that's striving to do the right thing, he wants you worse. The ones that's laid back, not doing much, he got you already. He don't have to worry about you. You're going to hell anyway. He knows that. You cannot be lukewarm. You can't be cold. You got to be having it together. And quit thinking you know it all. I tell you without a doubt, you don't know it all. How do they? And then, well, I feel like I'm okay. I feel like this is okay. I feel like everything is working out right. I think, honey, do you need to shut up? Here it is. I thought when the preachers on the fast for this month, for 30 days, they need it. You know why they need it? Because the devil been having them up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. When you going to get in and settle in? When are you no more going to be up and down? I might have it and I might. When does that change? When does it change? I never stop asking the Lord for more ever, no matter what I have. Because I feel like I can never get enough of God. He's so big. I want more. I talked about the journey that God took me on in April, and I'm getting ready to go on another journey. And that was a month without food, but at the same time, teaching me in the process. I didn't. When you really want something from God, you got to keep going after it. You can't dig. I mean, do this little crap about, well, I've been saved for 50 years. Honey, the devil don't care how long you've been saved. If he can knock your head off, he's going to do it. Keep going. I tell my children, watch yourself. When you feel like you're not in a good place, push the plate back. I got them and a couple other ladies in the church went on 2 months for 2-day chains for 2 months. That was a few months ago. And I look up and I think, you got to be sure that you don't get filled with the wrong thing. The more you go after God, the more God comes after you. He said, if you draw nigh to me, I'll draw nigh to you. You may not know who I am. You may not understand. Come on. I'm always looking for that close place. Close place. I was sitting on the platform tonight, and I sent Tamarine to him, and I want to say, he can play. I said, he'll play it. Take it to him. But Robert, he reminds me of myself. Kareem is the person that people are drawn to. I was the person they wasn't drawn to. When I looked at Robert, I thought, he needs a tambourine. Yeah, you can play, buddy, but I want a tambourine. I saw you. I saw you when you got up and went out, and I saw the trouble. I thought, you're important. Kareem is important. You're important. But if you get shoved back, I kept looking. I said, well, I got to get him a tambourine. He said, yeah. Wow. See, Kareem can play, I can play. You got to hear the voice of God say and watching. Oh, that's good. Take care of that. You're only going to know the voice of God if you spend time with him. If you take the time to forget about this world. What is God saying to me? What's he saying to me for you? Yes. Help me, Holy Ghost. But I learned who the devil was just like I had to learn who God was. Because God, he's the victor. The devil is the one that's trying to destroy you. You better know who it is and what it is. So we lose focus. Looking over here, looking over there. I ain't paying attention when the word's being preached and you're telling yourself, well, that's really not for me. It's for you. What? You know how people end up getting in relationships in church and having affairs and doing all this crap? You know what? They ain't watching. They just fulfilling the flesh. The flesh want to be a fool. They let it be a fool. So it drives you over here to a sister in the church or a brother in the church. Get a grip. I've said to folks in this church before, you don't have to shake my hand if you're a brother. You don't, a sister shake sister's hand. Brothers shake brother's hand. Stay out of the opposite sex face. I don't care what it's about. The devil takes things this small and he knows what he's going to do with it. He's going to destroy you with it and you're too blind to see. But I see. I see. I said to Denver today, I said, what was you doing talking to Trish? He said, oh, she was telling me I'd take care of my arm. I said, the doctor been taking care of your raggedy arm all this time? I don't need, if she wasn't here. Now you say, well, ain't nothing to that. Watch the devil. It starts with little stuff. So, sister, you really sang that song. I just love that. You know you can say, get out of my face. Keep moving. The devil is a liar. He comes in ways you'll never think. And I said, look at that. Look at that. There he is. Look what he's doing. Oh, no. If I tell you he's there, he's at your door, you better believe it. I saw what you didn't see. I heard what you didn't hear. Listen to what you're being told. The devil doesn't care. Well, how you doing, sister? You grab a hand, let me see it. Here's how we doing. I got you doing all right. Go take a seat and sit in a spirit of prayer. Shut up. I have seen issues with brothers and sisters in the church, and I'm telling you without a doubt, the devil started with something that small. It's not big. That's why you don't recognize it. He comes with something this small. Got your mind filled all kind of crap. I told you about Brother Reed when we were in Germany. We all went to church together. We all got saved around the same time. And Brother Reed, a nice-looking young man. He maybe been 25, maybe. Joe was one of the ladies that got saved long when we got saved. But Joe was married to an older man, much older. Joe was like maybe in her 30s. He was like 60. Now, somebody going to have problems in the flesh when you have that much of a gap anyway. Okay? A 60-year-old man is not going to keep up with a 25-year-old man. I said, what do you mean? Are you that dense? Come on, get a grip. So, what happened? Okay. So we all crammed in the car together going to church. Innocent. But Joe and Brother Reed shouldn't have been sitting there close in the car to begin with. The car was small. We all got in there together. Should have never been matched up against this brother. You say, well, ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, that don't mean that. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That's why the devil can hang you by your head, because you quick to say it ain't the devil. I tell you, it is him. That thing got so big and out of control. And Juanita, the lady that won us all to the Lord, she won all of us. And the Lord showed it to her. And when he showed it, it was right at the moment of breaking forth. And to the point, in Germany, you had sometimes some of the quarters had what they call maids' quarters, and that would be a room down in the basement of your building. This thing got so far until the devil had Joe sitting up, a bed, everything she needed to have sex relations, put it all in this room, had it all set up. Brother Reed knew where she was. She knew where Brother Reed was. The devil knows if he starts on this one, he's going to start on you. That's how he brings people together. So the other one ain't in the dark of what's going on, not by a long shot. Just about time. Thank God for the victory. Just about time. They had set a time to meet in that room. The Lord showed it to Juanita. She said, come here and let me talk to y'all. Come here. She said, you can't take that road. You already know that. But see, when you get so full of lust, it drives you. It's controlling your life. You're not making the decisions. For God's sake, you're not making the decisions. The devil is making them for you. And he kept building this thing and building this thing. And then Juanita set me down and began to talk to me about it and how the devil sets people up. And I watched that. I thought, wow. It was too tight in that car. Now, the devil, you ain't nobody say, well, now this is a Triumph. It's a little tiny bitty car. Way back 20-some years ago or longer. Little tiny red car. We always piled in that car. The devil said, if I can get them rubbing upside each other, hey. Put them in a car. They just riding. They all saved. They ain't all getting ready to stay saved. Give yourself some room. Keep yourself in a certain place. When my husband died, the Lord told me these words. I'll never forget it. He said, never counsel any man without somebody being present. You think I was here, he was worried about me? No, he's worried about some fool. Not me. Don't ever counsel him unless somebody's present. Because now you're no longer a married lady, you're single. You got to carry your life very close, watch very close. I learned a long time ago, if you don't have the devil's goods, you won't do what he wants you to do. You know, we used to play with what we call a magnet when we were kids, and you got this little metal thing, and you push it on something, and it click, click. If you put it on something that ain't got no metal in it, it falls down. That's what sin is. So you put it up against here. If it's righteousness in here, it's going to fall off. But if you ain't right, and you do this, you go click. I mean, it'll stay. You can run it on down, and it'll just stay hooked to the wall, go on down. But when you get right, it won't have no hold on you. I was telling somebody a situation, which I cannot divulge at this time, but I was talking to my girls about it before we left for church, and I said, can you believe that? They said, Mama, who would go there? Anybody. You got sin in your life, it's going to drag you out. The scripture says this, when lust is conceived, it bringeth forth sin. Meaning you are going to have sex with somebody. If you have a spirit of lust, rest assured you better get rid of the spirit. You get rid of the spirit, you don't have to worry about it. But if you got that spirit, it's going to take you on a journey. And then when lust is conceived, it bringeth forth sin. When sin is finished, it brings forth death, spiritual and natural death. Think about it. You're not to be tormented. You know what? It would be a shame, and it happens in churches all the time. You get a hug from a preacher, and next thing you know, wow, really? You stupid idiot. Here they said. Preachers should be able to hold your hand, pray with you, counsel you, and never in any way have a problem with sex. That is disgusting to me. You should be able to have victory no matter what. That I'm walking in a place with God. I'm a leader for God's sake. I'm a pastor. Do I not value that position? Do you not understand the power in this position? And preachers take advantage of women. They do them wrong. One of the ladies in our church was going to another church before she came here years ago, and she was talking to this preacher about a marital problem. You never let a no good homemonger know that you having trouble because he says he's going to fix it. He can't fix your troubles. So she said, Sister Rose, he said, well, I'll drive you home. So she got in the car, naive. He drove her home. Then he says to her, now you telling me I got a problem with my husband here. I got some issues. Then you get me to my house and you say, well, why don't I just go in for a minute? Right there, you should have said, well, you should have never been in the car with it. See? So he wants to go in the house. And then he tells her this. Nobody have to know what me and you do. See, if I was God, I'd cut his whole head off. But I'm not God. I'm thinking, you sitting outside the girl's house? She's asking for counsel, for help, and you want to go and have sex with the girl? Are you a sick? Nothing. I said, he did what? This same preacher had the nerve, this is years ago, called my house. I don't even know how he got my number. Sister Banks? I said, yes, who is this? I forget what his name, they ain't even important. And he said, I was in prayers, but I thought, you ain't been in no prayer. I just got mad. I've been in prayer this morning, and the Lord wanted me to, I thought, boy, you the giant fool. I mean, you are such a fool, you won't fit on a map. I said, the Lord told you to call me? I said, I don't believe that. Well, sister, I'm trying. I said, I don't believe that. Click. He said, well, I didn't want to be rude. Be rude. You're dealing with the devil. This ain't just a person. When Peter got out of line, Jesus said to Peter, Satan, get thee behind me. The devil is in husbands, it's in wives, it's in children, it's in all kind of places. Don't you ever rule out a place that the devil won't walk up in. I can tell you he will. He will. I took great offense. I thought, did you actually believe? You mental-minded, stupid idiot. Not happening. I mean, I ain't going to be in no fight. I'm just, I don't know. I can't seem to get it together. Two fools together. The devil plays the game, and he always puts two together. And if he started on this end with somebody, he started on this end with somebody, and they are going to come together. Watch as well as pray. Keep your mind on God. On him, the devil has no place. Watch what you pay attention to. Young people, I cannot stress to you enough. When the devil got you in the game, and you're thinking about, I want to get married, and I want to do this, and whatever, I'm thinking, once he gets you to wanting something, he's going to bring you something. You guys, I don't want anything but God. I want him right now. Because if I'm to have a husband or wife, that time will come. But until then, I don't have time. I don't have time. I'm thinking about my little granddaughter there. She had a dream that she was marrying somebody here in the church, and I said, well, The Lord have to speak to that one. And I thought, I got to really just get down to business with her, and I will. She's sitting there. She hear me. I will. Say, if I don't tell you it's from God, don't you dare touch it. If you touch it, you asking for trouble. Wait. Wait. Number one, some people, my daughter's a good example. God spoke in behalf of this man. Little did she know, little did I know, I'm going to take her through a process right here. I'm going to teach her something. If I'd have known that, I would have said, no way. No, but I got to teach her something. She's a different person today. I said, Lord, bring my children to the kingdom at any price. Whatever it takes, bring them to the kingdom. Whatever it takes. So if I go down this road, what will I learn from it? What is God teaching me? I want this. I want this. I want this. I'm going to show you that it don't have that kind of value. Nothing has that kind of value. You either love God or you don't. You either want to go with him or you don't. When you always find, well, do I have to fast? If you're going to stay saved, you do. That goes. The old folks used to say, if you don't fast, you won't last. If you don't pray, you won't stay. It's so true. If you want to be here until Jesus come and take you home, you better start recognize where the devil is and wake up and stay alert. And here's what happens to people sometimes. After they've been warned of something, after a while, if it don't come pretty soon, they start pushing it back. And after a while, the devil says, I just waited until they got it out their mind and they wasn't alert anymore, and here I am. He never, I tell people all the time, when I warn you of something, don't expect him to show up today. But he will show up. Because I don't want, and Sister Rose done told them they're going to be watching at that point. But he says, don't worry about it, we'll get them. We'll get them. How many times did I tell Joe Thurman, you better pray? He never had a spirit of prayer. You got to pray. You got to ask God to fill you with him, Joe. You got to ask God. Sit right on that pew looking just like this. The devil said, he's a stupid fool and I'm going to take him. Solomon said, I looked through my window. What did I see? I saw a fool, void of understanding. Didn't have no understanding. You're trying to say, boy, the devil will do you a job. He'll do it in a minute. And you'll get up wondering and saying, how did that happen? How did I get in that position? It just started off, oh, sister, you drop your pen here. It's stupid stuff. The devil is, he's got a lot of people in hell. He knows if he shows up, the devil, and you see him, you're going to run from him. But since you don't, I ain't coming looking like the devil. I'm going to look like an innocent thing. It's always innocent. It'll cost you. It will cost you. And sometimes I go to bed, I say, did you not see that? Did you not recognize that? Did you not know that that was the devil? No, ma'am. I said, you're not praying. It's important you know your enemy. Suppose our military people went to war. Back in our day, it was Vietnam War. But you didn't know that they were Vietnamese. Now, I think Daisy's late husband said when he went to Vietnam, he said, them little demons over there, some of them on your, he said, some is on your side. They Vietnamese, but they're fighting with you. But there's some over there that's the enemy. He said, you can't tell them little devils apart. They look alike. Now, you better know who's the devil and who's on your side. And I can tell you the devil is not on your side. Don't ever forget it. Quit taking innocent things, talking about, well, I didn't even think nothing of that. Really? That's where the saying comes, make me understand how you could be that dumb. Did you pray? You can't play with sin. It starts off with a little play. Stop it. You accidentally got a sign up here on the pulpit to help that night because somebody's short. And some woman's sister's already up here. And you say, where are you going? Oh, I was told to come up and kind of help. Don't put them together. Put two women together. Two men Go on down at the back of the church. And don't be grinning in each other's face and we clean it up and lie. Get a grip. Listen to what I tell you. I tell you because I care. I warn you because you need to be warned. It started off with a little, hi, how are you? You said, I don't even want nobody, honey. The devil says, wait a minute, I'm coming for you. When I get through with you, you're going to want somebody. And he puts you on the pan and fry your tail up. Do you a job. You the same one saying, I don't want nobody, honey. I'm beyond that. Devil said, you ain't beyond nothing. Because I'm going to get you. It doesn't matter if you're married. It doesn't matter. You say, well, I'm married. Devil says, really? Like I told that man down in Wichita Falls, Texas, years ago, me and Daisy was at the mall, and we sitting on the bench waiting for the bus. So this man walks over and said, hi, how y'all doing? I just looked for a moment. He said, what's your name? Daisy told my name, I told him my name. Then I said, when I thought he's trying to make up a pass on me. I said, I'm Sister Rose. He said, I'm Brother John. If you a sister, I'm a brother. Oh, no. You got to be wise, smart. Don't be easily taken in. That man didn't bit more care nothing about that. It's like, well, I can be your brother. Oh, no, you can't. But you know what we mess up at? We smile too much. And I said, no. Hey. Huh? Hey, I just wanted to talk. Said, why are you talking to me? Did you hear what Sister Rose said? You can always use me. And say, if you don't get out of my face, I'm going to Sister Rose. And then walk off. Be rude to the devil. So it's just not my thing. I told Kent the same. I said, Kent, he told me, I'm not a person that's going to be rude with people. I said, you're dealing with the devil, baby. You're single, you ain't married, and the devil is coming for you. Well, I just can't be rude. I said, you better be rude. Understand, you're not dealing with just a person. You're dealing with a spirit that's trying its best to tie you up. Don't let him. Ask some counsel. Ask advice to see what is actually going on. Because what you think you know, you don't know. I could tell you some stories. I don't have time to do it. That you would be so blown away and shocked. But nothing. Anytime you see the devil walk up, show himself, set your face. He just keep looking at me. Really? That's not funny. Every time I look up, he's right there every time. That's not funny. Why you can't? I wasn't thinking about him. You're liking the look. Watch the flush. Watch the flush. The flush loves pleasure. It loves the attention of the opposite sex. It loves it. It'll take you to hell. You know, I said before, and I say it again. The devil's going to do all kind of things to you. And then when he gets through using you up, that body's going to be laying in that casket. The devil has gone on to the next soul, and you laying there. The body is dead. It cannot feel, talk, hear, or nothing. But it led you around like a lizard. And now he's laying there. That body's not going to hell. What's going to hell is your soul. But he's used it. He continued to use it. And so now the preacher's preaching your funeral. You're in hell. Where's the flesh? Laying there like this, so peaceful. Got a little nice smile. Been a hellion their whole life. Done played women and men alike. He don't say nothing. He don't talk. He don't think. He don't hear. He's dead. But were you? you're in hell. Don't play it. You got to watch the devil and say, you know what? I got to be careful. Don't leave yourself open. Don't leave yourself open. Look, to watch is to look at or observe attentively, typically over a period of time. The word translated watch means to have the alertness of a guard at night. A night watchman must be even more watchful than a daytime guard. Why? Because it's dark. When it gets dark, the devil loves to work in the dark. Most people having affairs are slipping around at night. See, I'll meet you over there. Yeah, it's dark. He picks you up. He takes you where he wants you to go. It's bad, bad business. My mother, many, many years ago, was having an affair with a fireman. The firehouse where we were was not far from our house. And this fireman was a married man. You know what he did to her? He went to a witch. So I'm calling him psychic, but this is a witch. And he fixed her so she would have to come to that fire station every morning at 2 o'clock in the morning. I remember being a little girl in the bed. I'll never forget it. They hadn't given us to my grandmother yet. And so I was scared. They gave us to my grandmother after they found out she was unfit mother. And then I was 6 when my grandmother took her, so I was younger than that. And I would see my mother crying because my mother was almost white. Her skin she was so light skinned. And so when she cried, she'd be so red in the face. And I said, Mama, what's wrong? Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. She went to a witch of her own. And she said, I can't get into the details of it because it's inappropriate, but she said, I'll tell you what he's got on you. Go to the fire station steps. He's got something that belongs to you. Dig it out from under that step, and you won't have to go there anymore. And she said, and if you'll give me anything of his, even down to just a piece of his garment, I will cause him to lose his mind. This is demon power. And my mother didn't do it, but she did go to that fire station and looked under that step going up into that fire station, and there it was. I said, whoa. I remember going to school that morning, and I passed the car, and she was sitting outside the fire station, and she was so red and just crying. And I went up to the car. I said, Mama, what's wrong? She said, baby, it's nothing wrong going to school. I said, why are you crying? She wouldn't explain nothing to me. I was too young to be explained to anyway, but I remember that. And she was crying. And then I remember when the wife of the fireman found out that my mom was having an affair with her husband, she shot at her. In St. Louis, you have a lot of alleys. So you may go down that alley and get to another house or whatever. It ain't the best place to live. And I kept thinking, what's wrong? Why is she so upset? The devil has a way of putting you in a position where you have no power. He has it all. That's where he put my mother. She had no power. Constantly going. Wake up at 2 o'clock every morning on time. Head down that alley to the fire station to meet with this man. You got to look at your life and say, I better find out who the devil is. And don't let him take advantage of me. The woman in St. Louis, let me show you this. She was having an affair with a man as well. And these little things about as long as my finger, they're like worms, but they're not worms, but they look like worms. And she went to a witch and fixed her. Well, when they got her to the hospital, her whole body had these things just crawling up and down under the skin everywhere, her entire body. And so the doctor took a knife and cut where the worm was and pulled it out. It looked like a piece of white fat meat. And it was wiggling and moving, something the devil did. When you don't listen to what you're told to do and follow instruction, the devil can do all kind of stuff to you. All kind of stuff. They did it to Daisy's mother. Had to take her all the way to some place in Mississippi for them to take that. Some people call it the hex or whatever it was, but it was demon power. That's the only way the devil says, I'm going to finish you. You don't want God? Keep playing with sin. And you don't watch the devil, he's going to keep taking you deeper and deeper and deeper until he takes away your life. I said, no, I don't have to be that. All you got to do is read this Bible, pray every day, listen to the word, follow instruction. Your life will be better than you can even imagine. But if you don't, the devil can do anything to you he wants to do, and nobody can stop him except God. So I'm not watching. How did that come upon me? Why did I find myself thinking about this man in my mind? He brought it. A brother in the church. Well, I'm always thinking about that man. I don't know what is this, the devil? You better rebuke him and tell him to get lost. If you don't, he's going to drag you right on out. And when you know one thing, you can't even sleep at night. Oh my God. Oh my God. Don't get caught up in looking at any brother or sister. Just, God, when you're ready, you'll give it to me. Until then, shut up. You'll be all right. Come on, you can do it. That devil will play you. I have so many stories I don't have time to talk about. Paul told the church this. He said, for I know this, that after my departing, and I claim this, after my departing, shall grievous wolves enter in among you, not sparing the flock. Also, of your own selves shall men rise, speaking perverse things to draw away disciples after them. Therefore watch and remember that by the space of 3 years I cease not to warn everyone night and day with tears. Paul said, I cried, warning you of what the devil will do upon my departing. I am going to depart. And I'll guarantee you, there'll be all kind of stuff trying to come through that door, and they'll set people up that's not praying. They'll set people up that's not watching, plain as day. This Sister Rose, where my Sister Rose at? She's not here anymore. This is about my life. You know what I mean? She is always telling people what not to do. I'm telling you what the word said you shouldn't do. You better listen to it. So Paul said, what do? I commend you to God and to the word of his grace, which is able to build you up, to give you an inheritance among all them which are sanctified. He said, I prayed for you. Listen, don't ever forget the things that you've been taught across this pulpit to the day you die. I will have left no stone unturned. I will deal with every issue. Remember that. Take heed. Take heed. Remember. Store it. So everybody knows what to do. Everybody knows what they shouldn't do. God, I'm going down this road. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to listen. I'm going to follow instruction. That's how we got where we are today. We followed instructions. We listened. We done what we was told to do. Because these people that was teaching us, they've been saved 20 years. I think Juanita was saved 20 plus years before I got saved. Does she know something? I think so. And I listen. You got to listen. You'll come out on top. You'll come out with victory in the end. You ain't getting ready to shout on the streets of gold with me if you don't listen. This is God's word. He's trying to protect us from what the enemy would like to do. Don't listen to him. Listen. Everything that's said, you should be at a point in your life where I ought to have a journal. Turn the page. I keep a journal right now. Several journals. I told my kids, do not open these until I have departed. Then you read it. Because my pain was more than I can bear. I don't even know what and why I wrote it. Read it later. But make notes. Make notes. I ain't going out like that. Nobody has to fail God but the people that don't listen and don't follow instructions. Make up in your mind, I'm going to do what's right. Watch the devil Every minute, every second of the day, he is plotting your demise. Every day. That's why he got so many people in hell today. He plotted and planned. He don't care how long you've been saved. That ain't no big deal. There's been people that got saved, been saved for years. At the end, they lost out. Don't be one of them. And all this stuff he's putting in your mind, and you got to do something. You got to do something. That's why I told my friend here, Zaris. So when you see a woman, what do you do? Well, I look back at her, and then I take the second look, and that's what'll take you to hell. You shouldn't have looked the first time. Put your head in a brace. Tie it down. I ain't turning my head no more. You don't need to keep looking. Just let it go. Let it go. Because when he gets through with you, it'd be so nice if God let people, when they look like that, just their neck pop. Yeah. This is good for you if you take it. So I'm going to be different. You're not going to be. There's too many careless people in this church. Too laid back. Too laid back. I look at my friend over here, Ronnie. Boy, you better hope Jesus don't come soon, because you ain't going to be going. You better hope not. This is nonchalant. I see people doing all this crazy stuff. Pink hair, green hair, yellow hair, tattoos. Stuff. I looked at a woman on TV the other day. She had a tattoo, ring hanging out of her nose. It looked like she should have blown her nose. That's what it looked like. I think, get a grip. Well, you got an identity with God. You don't need it in the wrong places. God bless you. I hope you take this message with you and say, I better start watching. Most of all, I better pray. You know when you slipping if you watch. Go on a fast. Don't wait for me. Go on a fast. Call it for yourself. Tell your flesh you're not having it today. Now just keep on. I'm going to start me a fast. I hope Sister Rose call one. You'll call one. You're big kids. You're not babies. Call one for yourself. I hope I don't have to preach this message again, but you better be careful. Sisters and brothers in this church, you shake hands with a brother, sister, you shake hands with a sister, and keep marching. I can hug somebody that you can't hug. You know why? It's who you are. I can hug these little boys all day long. They ain't number boys to me. And they feel love. That's love. Isn't it, Kareem and Robert? Robert? It's love, ain't it? Yes. It's good. You take yourself on somewhere. Every time a brother come in and give me a hug, keep walking. Keep walking, baby. You're not Sister Rose. Are you kidding me? I'm a mother. I got a mother, spiritual mother figure. I'm not you. Well, I told Sister Rose, I said, you don't have to worry about nothing. You just keep on coming. Don't, boys. Set your eyes on Jesus. Say, I'm gonna be cool for God. Break it on down, boy. A good life. That's where you need to be. All this other crap is for the moment. It means nothing. Stand to your feet. Musicians, come forward. You can tell when you're not praying because you can't praise good. You can come and go through the motion. That's about it. Yes. Ask the Lord, say, Lord, help me to be watchful and alert. Help me to listen to the truth and follow it. It's for your benefit. God bless you. Give them a song. My soul said yeah. Play that tambourine, Robert. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Look at the ring.
depths of my soul.
Oh, yes,
Lord, completely, yes. My soul say yes. Oh, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.